Hello. So you are using probably Stable Diffusion version 1.5 or something like this, and you're trying to make a nice comic book panel or an illustration, and you're not really happy with what the faces and the hands look like. So I have a few tips for you. First one is this one here is 600 by 400. Go as high as you possibly can, which you do by upscaling. So we bring the image here and we want it 2 times bigger, and we use an upscaling model that is suited for this kind of image. So anime in this case would probably work. The image then looks like this, so you get sharp outlines, but the faces are still a nightmare. And then you can bring it to image. And now we're going to try to improve the faces. You could do that by actually going to InPaint from here, send to InPaint. You could make a quick mask here on the face and try to redo the faces you don't like. So we say woman comic book style, and then we say we're going to redo just this portion, so only the masked will be done in high res, and the resolution is already the correct one because we doubled it. Now it's a bit bigger. And if we hit generate now, he will just try to generate the face in a high resolution, and this replaces the face in this one, and it doesn't really look the way I want it. So what can we do to improve it even more? We could try to bring up some names of famous comic book artists. Movies comes to mind, and we can try that. Still doesn't look great, and the reason for this is that this model is pretty old, and it has not been trained well in terms of comic books. So what we do now is, first of all, we're going to get another model. We can do that by going at Civit AI and try to find comic style models. It would be good if we could find one that has an in-painting model, because we might want to try in-painting, but these ones will also probably work fine. I downloaded this one, and here are some more links. I also downloaded this one, and with these models then, if we can find them here, it's a bit of a mess. Too many models going on here. Let's try the iComics one. If I do the same face again now, with this model, it might yield better results. So, and you see the problem here is it looks a little desaturated and gray. This is because it's not an in-painting model. So what we maybe want to try now is just go to image and try to redo the whole thing. I will just remove this and try it again. So, and as you can see, it looks very different. It knows Möbius, the artist, and it has redone the whole thing. So we have to bring down the denoising strength now to make it much more similar to this one. We could have tried that also with a masked mode, and there's still a change in color and saturation and tones, but it's way closer. And what I would recommend doing now, after trying a little bit with this artist, is learn about comic book artists, and you can do this by googling them. Here's already a bunch of names, and we're trying some other names because this model probably knows more artists. Instead of Möbius, I will put this name now. There's still this thing with the saturation going on. We might try another model. Let's try the Marvel one. So, and as you can see, things are getting interesting now. Maybe a bit higher denoising strength, so the hands will look a little bit different. So the capabilities of different models are also different, and when we have a picture that has some parts that we like, then we should switch to in-painting and try to just redo the parts that we didn't like, whatever that may be. There's still, I think, a mask active here that we don't see because this face also was changed, so we might want to undo this first and then redo the mask. So it's just doing that part, and as I said, it's not really good, the in-painting, because it's not a specific in-painting model. Some do have in-painting, others don't. So if you want to do in-painting and don't want to have the problem with the colors, it makes sense to pick another model. And as I said, many models come with in-painting. It's just a matter of time finding a comic book model that has in-painting. I'm just trying for this portion now. It does not really matter here what kind of model I use because it's a background guy, small one. But you see with in-painting the colors match nicely, and yeah, that's about it. I think it's this is the original one compared to it, so I think quite the improvement. It still might require some handwork to fix problems with hands, and this can also be done by making just many more images. You know, just crank up the batch count, and maybe let me send this to in-paint again. Just put a mask on the hands, and then you could try just to make hands, but this is one of the hardest tasks. You will now output 21 versions of hands, and also might need to try and work. I'm going to interrupt here. Work on the denoising strength. You know, when there is too little change, obviously, from the original, then you might need to crank up the denoising. Depending on the quality of the model, also things might get worse. Okay, that's it.